What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is another episode of Battle Birds Podcast. Yes, we do have a special guest who will introduce himself. But like I said, if you are tuning into my channel, Philly Fresh channel, Gate City Sports channel, for the first time, let's introduce ourselves. I already said my name. Go ahead to my right.
Yo, that man, you know who it is. You know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General. Also a fourth for the Better Bird Podcast, man. Appreciate all of y'all for being here. Definitely thanks to my guys, the other half, other thirds of the BBP. Y'all are 1/4 also, man. I appreciate all of y'all, and shout out to Bird Gang 31 for coming on, man.
What's good, everybody? You guys know it. My name is Steve. Some of y'all call me Coach. Some of y'all call me Stat Sheet Steve. I don't care what you call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. Hey, man, we excited, bro. I mean, we got a chance for if you want to play the Bucs, this is where you want them. You want them at home on a shortened week with an injured quarterback and multiple injuries across the.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what up, guys? It's Pregame 31. Thank you guys for having me on the show today, man. Always good to share the screen with some Eagle content goats out there. So much love to you guys. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as Gates said, if you ever wanted to play the Bucs, this is when you want to play when Tom Brady has something wrong with his thumb. Hey, but Tom Brady, take one thumb away. That's 9 fingers. And I think he can do some damage with 9 fingers. So we definitely have to pay attention to that. But yes, the linebackers that are hurt, I think Levante Davis is hurt. We come in with our own little problem with COVID restrictions. Dallas Goedert looks like he's not going to be playing. So we're going to need people to step up across the board. But overall thoughts. How do we feel with a chance to get to 500 and say goodbye to that hard end of our schedule?
Who wants to go with that one first?
Fresh.
I was reading the comments. Go ahead, say it again.
Right.
No, I really was reading the comments. I was reading the super chat.
Yeah.
Go
Shout out to Drew Johnson with the super chat. Yodak, Coach Gates, Philly Mike, and Bird Gang 31. What's up? That's good energy for a dub. But what I was saying was, how do you feel, your overall thoughts going into this game to possibly get to 500 and be done with that tough starting schedule?
I mean, I'm more relaxed than most people are. You know, I work around some of the bandwagon fans. At my job, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When everything is going good, when we're doing good, it's yay Eagles this, yay Eagles that. Then when you find yourself in adversity, you pick against your team every single time. I mean, that's your business, but I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the complaining. First of all, I can tell that you don't watch the games, and if you do, you don't know what the hell you're looking at, because all you're doing is following what ESPN says or what a Fox Sports says and stuff like that. And you're really not watching the games, just like them dudes are really not watching the games. Not like how we do. You know what I mean? They got to cover, not really cover, but they got to talk about 32 different teams and so many other, sports. So there's no way that they can do what we do on one team. But I actually feel I feel comfortable about this game, and not the disrespectful type. I feel as though coming into this game, if I see fight, if I see grit from my team, I feel as though we won. You know what I mean? I don't think their defense is that good. They still have a defensive line that does shut the middle of the middle of the line down when we talk about running. They do win that matchup, but then again, we're in a position to where though we don't know what our offensive line can do pushing up the middle because they don't get to do it because we don't run a freaking ball enough. So it's hard for me to compare those two aspects. And I think that's the only aspect that they win. I don't know if they win over in the wide receiver position, especially with Grant being out. I think that our safeties and our corners are very underrated for what they do. Slay, Nelson, Epps, McLeod back there. You know what I mean? And when you look at what Avonte Maddox is doing to tight ends, you gotta put your hats off to that guy, man. And I've been saying about it forever. I always love Avonte Maddox. He's just not an outside guy. He's not. And it's no dispersion on him, but that's what it is. We see him coming into fruition now. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that you can stop Tampa Bay, but slow them down enough, run the football enough, keep Tom Brady off the situation, and get at Tom Brady. Because if there's one thing I can say about the 40-point losses, not losses, but the guys that put 40 points on us in those losses, they were mobile quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Especially Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? He's more mobile than the average quarterback, even though he's coming off an injury. So Tom Brady is not. And if you put him in a situation with this defensive line, they have to get the ball out fast. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who you are. Everybody in the stadium, everybody on the Eagles bench and the Eagles front office and the Eagles coaches should know it, and so should the Bucs. So we know that he's going to have to get the ball out fast. The defensive line definitely have to be smart, get them hands up. I think we should be fine. And y'all know at the end of this live, I'm going to pick the Eagles, but I'm not picking them just because I'm going to pick the Eagles every single time on this live. I'm picking them because I feel good about that. We can pull this win out. I'm not as down as a lot of people saying just because it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady take losses too, just like everybody else. Ask them about the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But I do like our chances in this situation if the coaching staff and also the players do not get penalties. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead, y'all.
Real quick before we get to the y'all guys, big moves with the 499 super chat, much appreciated for all of us. What's good, fam? I'm starting Hurts as my QB1 this week and Devontae Smith as my flex over Dak and CD against New England. In New England, did I get it right? Go. Real quick, Gate, how do you feel about that? You doing Hurts and Devontae over Dak and CD?
Oof. That's tough.
We got the easier defense, but I mean that's still a pretty good combo.
Washington's second.
I'll say this. If you look at the matchup base between you got Bill Belichick, but I don't think the Patriots defensive personnel is that good, honestly. I don't. I think they're getting rid of some of the parts that are actually decent. But I will say that, I can look at it from that perspective and say they're not that great, but it is at home. Bill Belichick is still really good at scheming things up. And then you come and you look at this game against Tampa. Hey, look, this is Carolina, I think, was 2 or 3 in blitz. And we didn't really get it. I mean, they were pretty smart to make us think we were going to get heavy pressure, and they didn't really bring it. But this defense is number one defense in terms of bringing pressure. So Hurts is pretty good against pressure. So that you got that going for you, Big Moose, is that Hurts has been really good against pressure this year. He's top 5 in the league right now versus pressure.
Yeah. And shout out to Philly Fan D with the $5 super chat. We need Fletch and Hargraves to get that push on Brady where he's most vulnerable, the interior pressure. Wide receivers need to use that speed, and Hurts accurate on deep balls. Listen, to Philly Fan D, if that happens, it's the best $5 I ever seen someone spend because we getting a dub. But go ahead, Gate, just elaborate quickly on your general thoughts about this game before we dive into it and how we can get to 3-3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, man, we're the underdog. We know that. We know we're the underdog at home on a shortened week. But I will say, if you ask me, what has Tom Brady been really good at this year? It's across the middle of the field. He's been spectacular on the intermediate route development stuff. So anything above 10 yards but below 20 yards, and especially across the middle, whether that's intermediate or short middle. I think he's got 39 first downs on the season in the middle. We all know why that is. It's because they got a guy named Gronkowski there. Gronk. It's because of Gronk, and Gronk's out this game. So, I mean, there are things in our favor, but you got to be careful, man. I don't want to get too hyped up because I do feel like this is going to be a very passive defensive game to where we're going to have to hold in the red zone. And I would not be shocked if New England with a New England. I'm so used to Tom Brady, New England. Tampa Bay with a shortened week with a quarterback who's got an injured thumb. I don't know the severity of the injury, guys, but shortened thumb facing a tremendous internal pass rush. We know that Fletch can get pressure when he finally gets it, when he's ready to bring pressure, he can get it. And then we know Hargrave he's just been outstanding this year. So you got a guy that likes to step up in the pocket, but a defense that can push the interior. You got a guy with a hurt thumb. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't just say the Eagles can't stop the run. So we're just going to test them on the run all night until they show us they can shut it down.
Well, I
Because
tell you,
even
I'm playing Leonard Fournette tonight.
I hope
yeah,
so.
even like Chuba Hubbard, who I know I made a video about him, guys, when I did the draft profiles, and I said that I thought there was something there with Chuba Hubbard. I didn't think it'd be this soon in the NFL. Like I thought he was going to be one of those guys that's going to take a couple of years to really get worked into a rotation. But
Well, he got thrusted in off the injury.
yeah, exactly,
I mean,
because of CMC. But with that said, man, like you gave up 100 yards to Chuba, and I don't really think Chuba at this point in his career is groundbreaking. Now you can make the argument that Leonard Fournette's also running on flat tires, so to each their own. But I don't feel confident in our run defense right now. I have no confidence in this run defense at all, to be quite honest. When I broke down the film on it, Mike, I did a couple of where I was looking at the first drives of the game just to see what we were trying to do schematically. And I got a feeling it's Gannon telling them to do this. The linebackers aren't moving their feet, man, until the linemen are on them. They're not moving their feet and trying to attack the gaps to get these guys off of the D linemen until literally the guys that are pulling on inside zone are reaching the second level of the defense, which to me, like that's a recipe for disaster. Like you're basically hoping that linebacker can slip the block and then stop the running back at a 4 or 5 yard gain. Like you don't need too many of those runs, until you're first down.
Agreed.
First down. They're driving the ball. Like, I don't know, man. I got a problem with our run defense, not our defense. I got a problem with our run defense because I don't think there's anything that's more disheartening to a football team than having a team absolutely run the ball down your throat and knowing there's nothing you can do to stop it. And
that's demoralizing.
That's the fear I have with a game like this is that we can all go in there and be wowed by the fact that they got Antonio Brown out there, right? Like they got an arsenal of weapons. Godwin, they got, I'm forgetting somebody already, man. But I mean, they have an arsenal of weapons at wide receiver. And you can get overwhelmed by that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got an arsenal of weapons at wide receiver, and you can get overwhelmed by that and forget that they also got a running game, and they were pretty good in the running game last year too. By the way, it pretty much saved their season at one point because you remember Tampa Bay was struggling through the midpoint of last season, and then they turned it on. So let's hope that. I'm just hoping like
they also
got fears about the offense, and we'll get into the offense. We'll get into the offense, but I'm more so concerned, like, can Gannon show us that either what he's doing is going to hold in the red zone and the philosophy is going to work, or can he mix up some run blitzes? Because I don't feel like we stunt to get off of zone. I just feel like teams know they can zone block us because we don't stunt. We don't move our linemen at all. Yep. And we don't run blitz, really. I don't see a lot of blitz from Gannon. When he does bring the blitz, he's very successful. But it's just not a lot of design blitzes. And we can make the same argument about the offense, man, the receivers. We don't move the receivers enough. We tell them to line up here and win off the line of scrimmage. And to be honest with you, these guys are struggling because they're not developed yet, man. We're still 5 games in. Well, 5 games in now. We're a little further than that at this point. We're 6 games in now into a season to where you almost have to throw away what happened last year because there just wasn't enough time to really work these guys and develop them the way you would want to, in a regular football season. So, I mean, I'm definitely concerned about some of the structural things that I see, but I know it's a young coaching staff. I'm not, me, Mike. I'm not a guy that's quick to say, fire this guy. I don't believe in that, man. Like, coaches develop just like players develop. That's the thing. But I'm concerned, man. Schematically, there are things I'm concerned about.
I agree. Real quick, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button wherever you're watching. It's greatly appreciated. Bird Gang, overall thoughts on this matchup and us possibly getting a 3-3.
Man, I think it's time for the Eagles to get some respect put on their name, man. I think if we can go out there and beat Tampa Bay, that'll give us the lead, the leverage we need to become a relevant team again. I see we have a lot of talent on this board, but I'm trying to figure out, are we going to have the same defense from last week, or is it going to be, something where he goes back to his old roots, get that shell, because we are playing a lot of good receivers out there. Is he going to go back to your little shell defense, where they can gash us in the run? Because last week we seen them actually switch up coverages, you know what I'm saying? We actually, Chuba did get 100 yards on us, you know what I'm saying? But the overall defense was a lot better, and he was, using multiple defenses and also using some line stunts out there. So I want to see Gannon, do what you did last week, maybe add a couple of wrinkles to it this week against Tom Brady because he is the GOAT. So, you got to put that pressure on him. But I think Fletch and Hargrave definitely can get that pressure put on him and up the middle, and then that will also turn into more, sacks and pressures and stuff. So maybe, Tom Brady won't have so much time to get the ball out to these star receivers that they do got. I want to see our offense step up this week. It's been going back and forth. Good offense, good defense, good offense, good defense. It's time to put a complete game together against the best team in the league. You know what I'm saying? It's time to, put all our hats in the bucket on prime time this Thursday night and go show the world that we are a good football team. I always believe with the talent on this team, we can beat any team out there in the league. We are 2-3, but there's a lot of things that cause that, from penalties, not running the ball. I think running the ball is a key thing we got to do. Even though they are the number one run defense, I think we still have to try them out and run the ball against them. That's going to help our line out. That's going to help our, our defense out. That's going to help our passing game out. This RPO system that we're running right now, it's not that it's a bad system. It's just a point that if you don't run the ball, those windows that are already tight are even tighter. You need to run the ball, to bring up them linebackers so they can respect your run, bring up your safety so they can respect that. And you know what I'm saying? Like after that, I think if you run the ball and they put some respect on it, then those windows will be a lot bigger. You see a lot of more bigger plays. You can just take notes, from every team that we played this year. The whole first quarter, second quarter, they're running the ball down our throat. It's always been pretty tight at halftime, where we're still in the game, where everybody's still like, oh, we're still in the game. We can probably win this one, but then the second half, our defense is gassed, because then it had the ball ran down their throat for the whole first half. So we need to take a page out of the books that all the other teams been playing against us. And let's go be the aggressive ones. Let's go run the ball down his throat, keep Tom Brady off the field. You know what I'm saying? Score some touchdowns, man. Definitely improve our, red zone game, No more bench warmers in the red zone, man. We can't have that no more. These bench warmers are costing us touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Why not have your best? If you're going to start Quez, Devontae and Rager, then why aren't they on the goal line? Why you got JJ and Ward on the goal line, trying to make a play, give them some time, PT time. If you didn't give them PT time the rest of the game, don't give them PT time now. Let the star receivers get out there and do what they got to do and score these touchdowns. And like I seen some people said before, like Devontae Smith, really, his route running, unless they're double team him, he probably doesn't even need that pick play to get a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? He can get off that line pretty easily there.
Yeah, real quick to piggyback on what a lot of y'all said before we get into some direct answers and whatnot. I agree. To Gates' point, real quick, I think Gate and Bergang's point, what Gannon defense are we going to see against teams that have the threat to pass the ball heavy? That's where he played the softest zone. Pat Mahomes, weapons. Dak Prescott, weapons. Where did we get our 30 burgers dropped on us? In that game. But it wasn't via the pass. We sold out so much to stop the pass. Zeke and Pollard had 200 yards. And if you look at that Chiefs game, which is so disgusting, that the probably the heaviest passing team with a coach who wants to pass came in and said, "Look, Mahomes, we're gonna have to put you on the shelf for a week. We're gonna run the ball." And CE, Damian Williams, a wide receiver had a couple runs. They rushed for dang near 200 yards themselves. So what kind of defense are we gonna see? And to Fresh's point, I think I'm coming in this a little bit different. There's just something about this, whether it's the thing I said on my own live in the 7 straight victories on Thursday night, even though a lot of them against the Giants, whether it's the fact that Brady, I don't know, something happens when he plays the Eagles. You can go back and say he beat us in the Super Bowl, but I'm talking about in recent history. There's just something that happens. I just feel something coming, and I hope it's not a butt whooping. But I do. There was something how Fresh said it today. People are coming up to me telling me we're going to get smashed. I'm just like, I really don't think so. I really do think, regardless if we win or lose, I think we're going to come out there and compete. We proved we can compete with KC for 3.5 quarters. We let it slip at the end. We just got to be better in executing, and we do got to take advantage of that secondary. So
let me ask you a question, Mike, because you're on to the topic to an extent. You're kind of bumping right up against it. Does Sirianni take the training wheels off of Jalen Hurts?
Facts.
That's a great question. I've been waiting. I think he is, and again, that's not me saying that. I want to see what you got to unleash Jalen. Sink or swim. We got to know that he can do every and anything. I understand, the whole I'm doing the RPOs because it fits his thing is really making people think that he can only
But
run
it's so
RPO.
schemed. Yeah, RPOs are so schemed though. What ends up happening is that other guys don't become a part of the offense. That's the issue with an RPO. Is that
Correct.
yeah, you can draw one up for Quez, you can draw one up for Rager, for Smith, for Gainwell, but like it's really the quarterback reading the defense, checking the box, keying in on one player and seeing does that player drop back in coverage or do they come? And what's the route concept?
And Gates, you know what's crazy? Like I never played the position, but I know people that did, and you know the position I played, so I was very close to quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. What you're asking him to do first, you're asking him to take the snap, right? Mm-hmm. Read the defensive end before he even think about if he's going to pass or not. So this is why they're saying it's only a half field read. That could be true because he doesn't have time to scan the whole. This is the NFL, dude. Like you can do these things in college, time after time after time. You can't do this in the NFL with these grown men. By the time he's getting the ball, has to read the defensive end. Now, I'm a pass, which most likely he does. So now he has to scan his first option, then try to get to his second option. By then, he's probably gone. He's probably running. That's too much. Get this man some 3, some 5, some 7 drop back steps and let him rip the football. You're
all on it, Reese. You're all over it.
See, Gates, you say take the training wheels off. I do get what you're saying. I say stop putting so much on his plate. You're doing too much.
I'm saying open the offense up. Right. When I'm saying training wheels, I mean open. Open it up.
But he's doing too much for the kid. To the kid. Like just
I think I honestly think Sirianni. I think Sirianni likes Jalen Hurts a lot, and I don't think he wants to be the reason why Jalen doesn't succeed. So he's trying to overscript the offense to a ridiculous.
Right. Like check this out. Shout out. Like shout out to Mike. I think it was about 3-4 videos ago, Mike. You brought up that everybody was talking about the halftime touchdown that he missed. If that wasn't an RPO, he probably mixed it because he has so much time that he has to do other things. Now we all know that was going to be a throw, but still, he's just stop. I'm not saying stop completely with the RPO.
It can't be your main offense, just RPO. Yeah.
Look at Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury got a quarterback that definitely can utilize the RPO, and everybody thought Cliff Kingsbury was a cuckoo for Cocoa Puff guy. And I look at the Cardinals, 4-0, Kyler Murray, a candidate for MVP. He looks good, but they utilize the RPO 35%. That means for 65%, you're running conventional. You can do that. You can still run out the RPO. You can pass out the RPO. But the thing is, this is the crazy part, right? We use RPO so much. The few times we do get into single back set, it really shows that we're running the ball. And we do. We predictably run out the ball. So when you see Jalen Hurts go into a single back formation, it's put all your money on running the ball. And there was an article that I don't know if it was scouts or analyzing guys, whatever. I heard it on 97.5 The Fanatic. Shout out to them. That they through the first 5 weeks, they looked at a lot of the plays and they say whose plays are the most predictable to say pass or run. And the Eagles are the most predictable team in the NFL.
Yeah, they are. Mere Slat, to answer your question, sir, you absolutely can go up tempo. It's Chip Kelly. You can go up tempo the entire game, but it's probably not advised to go no huddle the entire game just because you do need to sub here and there. But I get what you're saying, Mere Slat. I do agree with your overall point, which is Jalen does play particularly well when you get the defense breathing and the defense is trying to count for him. And there are times in the game where I do think that they should. I said in the San Francisco game, when we did the pregame, I said, let Jalen be Jalen. Let Jalen take this game over. And I get where you're getting at with that. Like there are times where they do need to push it a little more. They do need to go up tempo. They do need to let Jalen just kind of stop thinking, just play, Jalen, just play.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask all you guys a question. I want your take on this, and I want to know if you think it's going to continue for this game. So we played 5 games in the NFL so far, and the first 4, of course, Jalen Reagor outsnapped Quez Watkins every single time. Last week was the first week that Quez Watkins outsnapped Jalen Reagor 55 snaps to 47 snaps. Do you think that should continue, and do you think it will continue? Bergang.
Yes. Quez needs to get more targets this way. This guy's open a lot of the time. Jalen's not getting to him because he is our speed receiver, so most of his routes are down the field. It's just the offense like you guys are all touching on. Jalen Hurts is a dual threat quarterback. He's not just a passing quarterback, he's not just a running quarterback. He's a dual threat. There's gonna be some games he's gonna come out there and not be passing the ball very, very well. And that's when you need to go to his other skill set. What I'm saying? Design run plays for him. Kind of piggyback off what he does good. So then that gets his confidence up. To then release some of them passes. But also, yeah, we can't run this RPO thing the whole game like you guys been talking about. Like we have to go back to a traditional offense. Let our running backs get the ball. Let Jalen have plays off where he's not having to think every single play. RPOs, run pass options. So either not only is he thinking about should he give the ball or not, but now he's thinking about, should I pass it and who do I need to pass it to? There need to be plays where he can just be clear. I'm just going to hike this ball and hand it off to Miles Sanders and see what he can do. Just so he can have a level head. And I think that'll open up more targets down the field to guys like Quez Watkins. But I definitely think Quez definitely needs at least, 4 or 5 more targets added to that every game.
Yeah, Mike, my perception of the whole year has been, to me, the second and the third receiver, it's not going to be like this huge disparity in snaps. So, to me, it doesn't really matter. I do think they need to get Quez more involved in the offense right there. And it's hard because, like everyone keeps saying, RPOs, you're talking about a very scripted and designed offense. And I would even ask Reese. Reese played running back. What's wrong with mixing in some just pure option with the RPO? So that way the defense doesn't know if there's even a passing option on the play. So that way, you take your receivers, you put them in a stack set on both outside to spread the defense out a little bit. And then you got Jalen reading what the defensive end does. And it's between him and Sanders, because I think Sanders is far better in the option than the RPO stuff. Well, I think Gainwell can play both, technically. I think he's pretty good in either one of those because it's just he ran that a lot in Memphis, period. But, to me, you got to mix it up, man, because there have been times like late in the second quarter against Carolina. I watched them do a couple of options, and Jalen got big gainers on both of those. And I was like, and when I'm talking about guys, it's the beginning of the game, when you're trying to get a rhythm established for the quarterback, don't just be all RPO. Hit them with some option, man. Make them think that tunnel screen's coming. Make them overcommit to defending the outside. And if that defensive end crashes, take advantage of it. I would love to see a little bit more flexibility. And then when you get past the first couple drives of the game, do like you did in Kansas City, to where then you just let Jalen, he's in a rhythm, let him play now open up the offense for him.
And it's time to, I can't believe we 28 minutes in and I don't think we expressed this enough. It's time to run the freaking darn ball.
Yeah.
Once again, with the win, I'm not going to close my eyes and act like it didn't happen. You didn't run the ball enough last week, man. Miles Sanders touched the ball 6 times. That's not enough. It's not enough. You got to run the ball. You got to utilize the tight ends. Once again, they got 5 targets between the both of them. Dallas got a result, so it should be the Zach Ertz show. I understand you want to use your speed. That's fine. But you can always use the middle of the field. That play to Quez Watkins was a post up the middle of the field. You choose not to use the middle of the field. I don't know why. You think that these kids are going to get hurt? I don't like what is the problem? Why does everything have to be screens on the outside? Everything got to be up and out on the outside. Everything got to be a 5-7 yard out on the outside. No, use the middle of the freaking field. That's where a lot of people are vulnerable at. That's what we're getting killed at, in the middle of the field.
And we're getting predictable. We're getting predictable with who we put across the middle. It's always Smith on the in-breaking routes. It's always Smith.
And not only that, Gates, people got to realize when you keep using the sideline, that is an extra defender. The sideline is an extra defender. So it's easier for somebody to get less yards because they didn't went out of balance.
Is that because they...
Go ahead.
Do you, Fresh, I want to ask you this. Do you think it's more that they really believe in, do you believe that Hurts can't do it, or is it Sirianni doesn't scheme it? Is he not scheming it because he wants to protect Hurts from throwing in the middle, or do you just think it's just his mindset is I like drawing routes to the outside? What is your take on the reason why we don't?
my take is, I think, especially coming into the games, he likes to use the outside. And I'm thinking you're using the outside to take advantage of the middle of the field. But no,
Okay.
as the games keep going on, I see him using the outside to take advantage of the top. He's trying to get these linebackers, he's trying to get these corners and safeties to crash on our screens, so then he can hit you over the top. No, I mean, yeah, you can do that, but you can also utilize the middle of the field also. You got all this green grass, dude. Use all of it because you have talented, young, speedy options on the outside and in the inside. You got Devontae Smith, who is shifty. You got Rhaegar, who is shifty. You got Quez Watkins, who is probably one of the fastest people in the NFL, period. And I don't think that you told us, for right now, I can say Nick Siri lied to me, because what did I kept telling y'all why I liked Nick Siri, what he said when everybody was talking about his first interview. Everybody was clowning him and all that kind of stuff. What did I say that he said? He said he was going to use our personnel to their advantages. That's what he told me. I feel as though you lied to me. You lied to me, man. Yeah, so far you have lied to me. You have not used Quez Watkins to his best ability. You damn sure ain't used Devontae Smith to his best ability, even though he did get 100 yards for these last couple games he's been balling. Still, it's still not enough. You're not using Dallas Goedert enough, damn sure. And oh my goodness, do we even need to say Miles Sanders' name? Are you freaking kidding me? So when you look at everything that's going on with this situation, I'm not liking what I'm saying. Yeah, we came out with the win. I'm not saying the win was handed to us, but we damn sure it got help getting the win. And that was in all aspects of the game, which we really haven't seen from the Eagles in a while. I'm talking about special teams, defense, and offense at the end of the game. That happened. Gates, I know you was there. You seen it happen. That happened. But you as a head coach, and Gates, you said this a couple weeks ago, maybe it's time. I think Michael, you said it. Maybe it's time you set aside the play calling and let one of these other dudes do it and just control the team.
He's learning two jobs at once. Yeah, he's learning two jobs. He's learning to be a head coach and a play caller because he's never done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I would do it personally. I would do it too, just because of when you look at it right now, you can't even execute your offense because of the lack of development in the player. You need to spend a few weeks at least. Play calling is not what everyone cracks it up to be, man. Most dudes can call plays. Yes, some dudes are better than others. Yes, you do have to learn. You get better at it over time. Most people can do it. The problem is when you got guys that can't execute what you're trying to do out there. To me, I think your time would be better invested getting in guys' face and working with them in game as the coach. Yo, man, what are you doing? You cannot release outside when you're trying to hit the outside. Like, this doesn't make sense. You got to release inside first. Like, there needs to be far more execution from the players, and that's a result of coaching. You need the head coach to really be on the development more right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, Steichen can call the plays, man. It's still your offense. You guys are still coming up with the route concept. It's just some dudes reading it from the chart, man. Like, come on. Like, you would be better served actually being there for the development right now, because I think we have a far bigger problem with a young core that we need to develop, or we got way bigger problems on our hands offensively if this young core can't develop.
I agree with that.
Like, to me, it's like, I don't know how you get that across to them, man. I don't know. I know people are going to hate me saying this. I don't know if that's got to be Howie. I don't know if that's got to be the owner. I don't know if there's somebody in the front office that's not GM or owner that, knows Nick maybe and can get this across to him and say, like, hey, Nick, man,
how about his
look at
brother?
This bigger picture.
How about his brother that he keep talking about all the time?
Yeah,
that's
somebody.
Maybe somebody. Hey, real fast, Geo Mag. I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me in my last soliloquy that I just went on, what did I say that wasn't facts? Comment that, because you just saying I don't know what I'm talking about and ending it like that. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, obviously, and you just want your name to be known. You're nobody, and you don't know what you're talking about. How about that? Go ahead, Charles.
Shout out to Philly fan D with the 199 super chat, and he's spitting facts there as well. Taylor needs more snaps. The little bit of surprise I saw what I saw out of him last week in the limited snaps he got, you seen explosiveness. He made some tackles in the open field. I like the sideline with him. Shout out to GDGD with the $5 super chat, even though I kind of don't want to read this. The Eagles are just an average football team. They probably will win just enough games, 6 or 7, to play themselves out of the top 10 draft picks. And here's the thing, though. I don't know if you're saying that as like you're being honest and saying this team can, like that, or you're trying to say we're dumb for winning games when we should tank. Here's the thing, right? With the Eagles having enough money next year to figure out what we're going to do with the 1-year guys on our team, who we're going to go out and get, what we're going to do, right? You want to go into next year feeling good about yourself. You want to go into next year feeling good about Jalen. You want to feel good about Nick Sirianni, whether that gives us the 19th pick over the 9th pick. We got 3 possible first rounds. If we feel good about this team, plus we got money to get people to come to us because we're not. Think about the teams that always pick in the top 5. Free agents don't want to go there, and they stay in the top 5. Yes, you get the best players, but it's almost a death sentence because you're so bad. There's a reason you get them, and your veterans leave you because they want to go somewhere else. So I don't want to pick in the top 10 if it means we're going to be the Giants, because the Giants been struggling for 4 or 5 years. I'm not saying, I don't know where you stand at that, but I believe finishing the season strong, no matter what, you got to go ahead and do that. And then we got somebody named CF talking about how about them other people's. You know what I mean? How about them other people's? I can't say it. No matter how much you pay me, just again say it like that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'll give you the money back if you want.
Jalen, if you remember last year, Arizona blitzing from the right. To your point, Arizona blitzed from the right. But I think because Sirianni's doing those, I think one of the effects of the screen game, those tunnel screens and the things to the running backs, is that it does make it kind of hard to blitz like that because of the speeding up the processing. But if we got a little too comfortable and a little too vertical with the offense, if it started looking, for a lack of better words, similar to Doug's philosophy in 2020, I think you would see that. I think you're hitting the nail on the head here, Jalen, that teams know that you probably need to bring pressure from the right and flush Jalen either over the middle or to the left. But hey, we'll see, man. I mean, that's part of that. That's why I said, man, it's such a balance. Like, you can't completely avoid throwing the ball over 10 yards. You have to do it at some point in any game. But at the same time, when teams are coming hot for you and they're bringing the pressure, you got to hit the vacated zone. And that's my problem with an RPO, is if I could spread them out and I could trust Jalen, like, hey, Jalen, look for the vacated zone and tear them apart. Like, that's what you do. And Jalen's been really good against pressure. So that's me personally, Jalen. I know I keep saying Jalen from Jalen Hurts to Jalen Williams. I would allow him. He's playing pretty good against pressure. So if we're getting pressure, letting look, Jalen, we're going to open the offense, hit the vacated zone, man. If they're bringing pressure somewhere, there's a vacated zone. Throw the ball right to the vacated zone. Let's move the ball right down the field on them. And we got guys in the open space that can make plays. So to me, that's what we haven't seen because they haven't opened the offense up enough.
Yeah, we definitely got to hit the middle of that field, man. I think that's a big thing, because if you watch any of our games, you'll see that is the main part that's not been touched. It's like kind of like pristine in the middle. Like, that's just one area the Eagles don't go. You know what I'm saying? And running the ball will help, with this outside stuff. But we need to hit the middle of the field. We got 2 great tight ends, 2 top 10 tight ends, and that's where they should be eating at. Of all the coverage going to the outside, you even watched last week's game. You have both safeties going to either side, where there was a lot of plays there where that whole middle of the field was, linebackers, 5-6 yards off the ball. And then after that, just clear green grass. The fact that you're not scheming up plays to hit that area over and over again until they change up your defense is beyond me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick, and this is kind of like a compliment, but it's not at the same time because there's a reason why. But we haven't allowed a 300-yard passer. Again, you look at the quarterbacks we played, 2 of them being Mahomes and Dak Prescott, who had multiple 300-yard games. Even Sam Darnold in his time had, I think someone told me, and I didn't do my own research, so I don't like to say stuff that I don't know for a fact, but I know he's had some 300-yard games, but I think he had almost all his games were 300 yards at least. but it's because of how vulnerable we are in the run, and that's the total switch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my one take real quick to get off the whole Tampa Bay thing and about the linebackers that we don't mess with. I think if we're ever going to draft linebackers, it's now, or if we're ever going to see how important linebackers are, it's now, because for the last couple of years, the defensive line really hid the deficiencies of the linebackers. I think our last good one was Nigel Bradham, who was decent before he tailed off, before we let him go. He wasn't great, but he was better than what we got here. But still, the defensive line really hid the deficiencies. The scheme did. Now it's kind of out in the open. And if we don't rotate, I think we stop rotating guys a little bit too in that Kansas City game. So I just think you got to kind of come in with that same game plan. Jonathan Gannon played the Chiefs and the Cowboys differently than he played some of the other guys. And so you're going to have to, live or die with it. He sent some blitzes. And again, if we don't get home, it's going to be a rough day with AB and these guys. But let me ask you guys, Darius Slay said to Jonathan Gannon he wanted to shadow last week, and they put him on DJ Moore, which I'm glad we got the dub, but he cost me a victory in fantasy. But shout out to Slay. Yeah, I mean, I had DJ Moore in 2 damn drafts. Anyways, do you think Slay shadows? I almost broke his camera.
Earthquake going on over there, man. Everything good?
Earthquake. Just kidding.
I don't think he does, Mike.
I don't
think they'll shadow him this game, just because there's so many weapons on this team. All these dudes are number ones. There's no point. There's no point to shadow anyone. Like, you got to hold up. And I mean, you could look at it and say, like, okay, like Slay's going to play this side of the field. Nelson's going to play this side of the field. Just lock it down. That doesn't mean that they can't mix in some man coverage here and there. But what I saw, Mike, from the Carolina game, I saw our corners read the quarterback's eyes and sit on routes more. So I think they're getting more comfortable with this scheme. And I think having Rodney McLeod back, I think that's doing something.
Yeah.
Because I noticed the rocking of the safety in the Kansas City game early in the game. When I did the video, I kept showing you guys they were bringing McLeod down. So they were giving him this was Patrick Mahomes. They were giving him like a quarters or a cover 2 look, but then they right after the snap, you'd see McLeod's coming down either doing cover 3 or cover 6. So I mean, to me, you know what I mean? Like it's a matter of, can we play aggressive enough, and the real problem is that we tend to leave the middle of the field open in our pass defense, and Brady is particularly good in the middle of the field, but Gronk's out this game, so that's clearly going to help. But I'm just going to be honest, guys. If you go look at his numbers, he's exceptional across the middle of the field. So, like I said, guys, like 39 first downs on the season. He's got a ridiculous completion percentage across the middle. Like, he's been really good across the middle. Even on the intermediate middle, he's still over 60%, 2 touchdowns, 18 first downs, man, on 19 completions. You look at short, 33 of 38, guys, 6 touchdowns. Short center, 6 touchdowns. 21 first downs on top of that. We love to play mofo open, middle of the field open. It can't be this game. Can't leave that middle of the field open like that.
Yeah, because just because it's not Gronk, that don't mean that somebody else can do it. I mean, Cameron Brake can come out of this drawing looking like Gronk if he's open. You know what I mean? And Mike, I just want to kind of tag on what you were saying about the linebackers. I do think that they played a better game, the best game that I think that they played. And a lot of that because I seen Taylor get more snaps. You know what I mean? What's his name?
Edwards.
Yeah, TJ Edwards. He got more snaps. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure what's going on with Singleton. I'm definitely not too sure what's going on with Eric Wilson. I think Eric Wilson might need to just be benched.
He might need to go back to Minnesota.
Yeah, he just might not be the guy. I was about to say that. He just might not be the guy for this scheme. You know what I mean? Because you need to be everywhere and fast. And I think Eric Wilson is not that guy. When you look at a Taylor and a Bradley, I thought Bradley had a good game also. And you put them two on the field together with TJ Edwards, I think that's your best linebacker core right there. Those 3 guys, and all that six man, and I like Avery. You can bring Avery in sometimes. I ain't got no problem with Avery rushing. You know what I mean? And playing on running downs and stuff like that. I ain't got no problem with that. But all that six linebacker rotation, that gotta stop. That gotta stop. Like, and I think it did last week, and we saw more out of the linebackers. Even on special teams, we saw more out of them because they were playing. Their blood's flowing. They're more into the game because they're playing more. You know what I mean? You can't, and that's why when we go back to what somebody said earlier about I think it was you, Bird, about the J. Jar Whiteside and the Greg Ward situation. Them dudes, they out there, they try to make a play. They don't get no burn. They don't get no time. So now they're doing too much. Mm-hmm. What Greg Ward did was doing too much because he gets no time. He gets no burn. So if you put these guys in a position to where they get burned. I'm not talking about Greg Ward now I'm going back to the linebackers. Mm-hmm. If you put these guys to where they get more burn, they're more into it. I played linebacker. I know how it is. It's hard for you to sit down at the linebacker position for 3 quarters and then they call you and you just supposed to be that guy. It's hard. You know what I mean? Especially if you play 1 or 2 snaps here, you play special teams. Now you're cooling off, and they're calling you back in the 4th quarter, and you're like, oh, all right. Now your mind is always, you're getting paid. I get it. I understand it. But you have to be fair because especially if you feel as though you are the better linebacker, I'm pretty sure Bradley and Taylor think that they're better than Alex Singleton and Eric Wilson. And I think that they are too. You know what I mean? So when you looking at it like that, and I would keep it down to a 4-man rotation. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Eric Wilson he doesn't fit the scheme. So to me, he would get the less snaps. You know what I mean? I would have to go with T.J. Edwards, Bradley, Taylor, and I'm gonna sprinkle in some Avery. That's my 4 right there. I can't
Avery Avery definitely played better this last game, and I think he should be that last one. Just because of the versatility. But shout out to Ish, your boy, with the $9.99 super chat. I see you. He said Eagle fans shouldn't be mad if they lose. At least be competitive and see what guys show improvement this year. Lions are an example this year of thinking, but being competitive and showing improvement. And that was my whole take on the last comment. Look, at the end of the day, you know, I was a 7-9 win guy. 7 on my 7 is what I really thought. Then when we started getting close, of course, the fan that comes out, I said 9 wins. However, you know, if you can win 7 wins on a rebuilding season with a new coach and quarterback tandem, then you have the money you have. You know, like I said, if we can be, you know, I understand every single game we win, if we're not going to go to the playoffs, takes us farther away from a draft pick. But right now, I think that, you know, a winning culture is better than just being the top draft pick. A winning culture and an actual direction, a direction of where this franchise and this team is going. With that being said, the direction we're going to be going soon is to our seats to watch the game in a little bit. So to get back to the Bucs, what is the one thing? If I'm going to ask each and every one of you, if the Eagles do this, they have a really good shot to win. Finish that sentence. If the Eagles do this, well, whatever, ... they have a good shot to win. Go ahead, Bird Gang.
Run the ball. That's it. Like, for real. Like, you don't understand. That cures a lot of things on our team, period. Like, running the ball cures it all. You know, maybe you don't have so many rotations at linebacker because the defense isn't on the field as much. Maybe you don't have so many injuries on your offensive line because they're not backpedaling the whole game. You know, maybe you have some deeper balls to Quez or Devontae's open more because now they actually have windows that they can run in because the linebackers, when you're doing all this play action and you're not running the ball, these linebackers aren't moving. They're not taking a step forward, not one step. I've been watching the games, man. They're not even worried about the run because we don't do it. You know, if you run the ball consistently, that opens up a lot to our game and that keeps Tom Brady off the field. And I think that'd be a great recipe to win the game. Plus penalties. We got to stop with the penalties. I know they went down last week, but we got to keep on that trend of keeping them down.
Yeah, so go ahead, Gabe. But real quick, And I agree. Everybody else is in the comments saying run the ball too. But the funny thing is this, though, right? We're going to decide to run the ball against the best run defense in the NFL. And here's my take, just like this. Like as Bergang said, even if you're going against the best run game in the NFL, you should still run the ball. It's just the object. It's just the way you are. Makes you unpredictable. It makes the linebackers play the run. And again, for people who say Jalen Hurts can't throw, why are we going to make linebackers worry about dropping back in coverage instead of coming against the run? So there's just so many things that it helps a young quarterback on. But go ahead, Gate. If the Eagles do this, we have a chance to win. Don't steal running the ball. It's already going.
Run the ball. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Bro, he's like, run the ball
so true.
more.
I'll say this, man. We got to keep him out of the end zone. We need to get pressure on Brady. Turn him over if you can, because he hasn't turned the ball over a lot this year. 2 picks on the year, I think. He's turned the ball over much. Pressure on Brady, create a couple turnovers, keep him out of the end zone, man. They're going to move the ball. There's no doubt in my mind that Tampa Bay team's going to move the ball. They're going to put points on the board, but can you hold them to some field goals? You hold them to some field goals, you might have a fighter's chance here. If they're just basically marching down the field and we're just playing break, not the bend don't break, we're playing just straight break.
Just break.
Yeah, there's no way, man. We're not going to be able to score enough points to keep up. So, I mean, to me, that's the bigger key here is that you got to get pressure on Brady. You got to be opportunistic if he makes a mistake, and you got to take the football away. And you got to understand he's going to move the football. He's too good. He's seen every defense in the league. He's going to move the ball. It's a matter of once he gets to the red zone, can we hold?
So your biggest you said it, like the bottom line was just stop getting off the field.
Yeah, I mean, getting off the field where they're not putting up 7 every single possession.
Yes,
I mean, Kansas City basically put up 7 on us almost every possession. You're not going to win games like that. There's just no way. There's absolutely no way. Like, what happened in Kansas City compared to Carolina, and mind you, that difference is Sam Darnold to Patrick Mahomes. but I mean, you can't win games where it's
Tyreek Hill, too. You can't forget about him.
Yeah. What people got to realize, too, is like Tampa Bay has not beat that great of teams. You know, they're sitting here, 4-1, but look who they beat. You know what I'm saying? They lost to the Rams, who were the only good real team they played. They beat Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They beat who else did they beat again? I remember I was talking about this yesterday. But they didn't really beat any teams with any significance except for the Cowgirls or the Cowboys, whichever way you want to call it. That's the only team that's been a high-powered offense that they've even beat this year. You know what I'm saying? So people thinking that these guys can come steamroll. They didn't even.
You muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
But they didn't really. They had a struggling game against, the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? They weren't putting up big points. Tom Brady didn't have that good of a game against the Patriots, and we already know what kind of team they are this year. So people got to stop looking at them. Oh, just because they're the Super Bowl champions, that they're untouchable.
Oh, they're gonna get touched. Pause.
Jonathan Gannon ain't Bill Belichick though. All right, so my answer is since it was going to be pressure, but Gate stole that.
Yeah, Gate took he tried to go a couple avenues with his thing, right? He tried to steal the game from us.
I'm gonna say discipline. When you look at it, most penalizing the team. I understand that they went down. We still lead the league. Most penalized a team in the league, and Brady is a smart quarterback. As much as we talk about how much of a goat he is and all this, he is very smart in situational football. He knows how to draw you off sides. He knows how to not only draw you off sides, but do like kind of what Aaron Rodgers kind of mastered, but he can do it too. With the just throw it up and hey man, it's a free play. You know what I mean? The third and ones and the fourth and ones and the third and goals on the 1 yard line, we already know what's coming. The quarterback sneak, but you still got to be disciplined on them because one false move and it's a whole three another downs. You know what I mean? Eye discipline also. It's not just about the penalties and the stupid penalties, a la Derek Barnett. But we ain't gonna get into that right now. Almost got another one last week. I don't know what this dude be doing. But anyway, it's also the eye discipline. You have to realize that Tom Brady is not the most mobile quarterback, but he can outthink you. He can outthink the safety. You know, that I'll never forget that play to Gronkowski in the middle of the field against the Dallas Cowboys for a touchdown. Now, it wasn't even a play. He was supposed to be blocking. And he just seemed out, and they had that connection, and it ended up being a 15-yard touchdown because of the smarts of Tom Brady, and a lot of that on Gronk too, who was not playing. But still, that doesn't mean that he can't form that with another player. Like, we see what he got going on with AB and slept on his couch and all them kind of things. So who knows the kind of connection that they got going on. So we got to understand we have to be disciplined to win this game. If you have no discipline, this game is over.
Good. Shout out to Chaos the Filthy.
No,
He said,
I was
gonna let I'm about to do it. What's good, Gate? Keep up the great work.
Oh, what's up, Chaos? My bad, man. I was in a la land, bro.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So my one thing is I was kind of debating because I was on the pressure thing too. So just to refresh, shout out to the 534 people watching to let you know. Now, if you're wherever you're at watching, you're like, this man is capping. No, I'm not. We are live on 3 channels. So there's 533. I can't even talk. 533 total viewers on the 3 channels. So definitely go out and check out the Philly Talk podcast. Check out Philly Fresh's channel, Gate City's channel, and we are not live on Pregame 31's channel, but all you got to do is type Pregame 31 in the chat. I mean, in the search bar. So it's Philly Fresh, Gate City Sports channel, and Pregame 31.
What's good, Chaos?
Yeah, shout out to Chaos. Dropping them gems. If the Eagles stop the run, you know what I mean? I think you got to commit to that. As we all talked about, Brady is a smart player, right? And we've seen Brady win. Do you remember the Super Bowl that Tom Brady won against the Los Angeles Rams? It was the most boring Super Bowl alive because Brady has a good way of reading the game. If just the other day when he played against New England, right? What did he do? He was missing high. He was missing high. Brady didn't have a great game, but what he knew was if I make a mistake, Bill Belichick and the Patriots are going to capitalize. He can beat you, or he can come into a game and drop 400 yards passing on you, or he can come into the game and say, you know what, I'm going to sit back and tell, and me and Bruce are going to talk about it. We're going to run the ball because he is the best game manager. And I do not say that as a slight, as, oh, you're saying he don't have arm talent? No, he knows what it takes, and he's not afraid to have a 211-yard passing game if it comes out with a dub. He knows what it takes in certain situations. So I believe he's going to come in and say, look, Pat Mahomes decided not to pass. Who the heck? Clyde Edwards-Helaire was running tough yardage, 3rd and 1s, just converting them. Come on, guys. We got Fournette and Rojo. Let's run the ball. So stopping the run is going to make Tom Brady a little bit one-dimensional. And one-dimensional with 9 fingers, he's still dangerous. But that's when you apply Gate City's pressure. That's when you apply Philly Fresh's discipline. You get pressure. You don't get flags. We get the ball back, and then we run the ball. So we just brought it all into fruition. And shout out to Chaos again. He's showing love on all channels, and that's what I'm saying. If you don't know who the other guys on the panel, definitely when this is over, we're going to have a good 45 minutes before the game. Get your popcorn, get your beer, get your soda, and also search in the fellow guys.
To make your Mike, to make your point, how many of you guys remember the 2019 Patriots and Eagles game? That was one of the best defensive games, one of the worst offensive games to ever watch.
Yeah.
I loved it though. We scored every way possible, right? It was no,
that was a 2000.
That was a 2015.
No, 2019
one,
right? Was the game where we went in with like no receivers. Nobody.
Yeah.
It was. That was like that was one of the best chess matches I ever saw because I got to give Bill Belichick credit. Like when you went back and you broke down that game, you saw the brilliance of Bill Belichick's defensive schemes because he definitely tricked Doug on a couple plays. He got Doug and Carson on a couple. So, the good news is we ain't got Bill Belichick tonight.
Yeah. Bad news is, though, we got Tom Brady.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, so we closing in on an hour. It's about 7:20. So
Yeah, I got
you
some
know,
things to do,
yeah, we
boy.
know
I
how we
get
end.
ready for this game.
You know how we end these. We're gonna give our offense and defensive player who's going to stand out in tonight's game and hopefully get us a W. And we will predict a score. So listen, chat. Start dropping who your offense and defensive player is and your score predictions. Texas Eagle with the $5 super chat representing in the enemy's territory. What up, fellas? Indeed, an all-star cast. I got a good feeling about this one. I got a feeling.
Antonio, yo, that
Nice,
I see you, bro. I just ain't had a microphone, but I see you. I see you, bro. I see you. I'm gonna go last because I'm tired of winning. So I'm gonna try to let y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Bird Gang, you're our
Man,
guest.
I picked Hardgrave. The man had no. LB won last week. I give it to LB.
Yeah, he won. Yeah, he got Slay. And
Slay.
He was hyped. Listen, he in his post game, he wanted to let everybody know. He was like, I was
You heard him? You heard him? Did you hear him though?
Yeah, I heard him. Go ahead, Bird Gang. Offense, defensive player who's gonna step up, help us get a dub, and then give me your score prediction.
Miles Sanders is going to be my offensive player, man. I think, Nick Sirianni is going to come correct this game and run the ball, and he's going to show you why you should give him the ball. Whenever he touches the ball, he does great things with it. So I think we're going to feed Miles Sanders the ball to keep Brady off that field. On defensive side of the ball, I think it's going to be big play Slay again. He's going to have back-to-back games with picks. You know what I'm saying? I think big play Slay, playing. He just had a new baby. He got this newfound youth in him, He's doing big things, trying to be the man of the house, show everybody that he is still the man and he is still one of the best cornerbacks in the league. So I see another pick today. Hopefully they line him up with Evans all game because I think they need to play more of this man defense. I think it works for our team a lot better. You're paying these guys a lot of money to play cornerback. Let them play cornerback. Once they get burned, then maybe you can adjust to it. So those are my two players. And the score prediction is going to be 31-28 Birds. Boom.
Of course, you got to say 31 if you're Bird Gang 31. And your offensive guy was what again? So you said Slay, and who's the offensive one again?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. Shout out to $4.99 super chat. Don't get your hopes up. Jalen stinks, needs to be traded, and we're going against the GOAT. I agree we're going against the GOAT. Nobody's hopes are up. We all watched the Eagles this season so far. And if Jalen stinks, I hate when people say someone stinks, but trade them. So my car don't work, but I'm going to sell it to you, right? If somebody stinks, he's not tradable, right? So you got to look at both ways, you know what I mean? But go ahead, Gate.
Hey, real fast. Let me. So, first of all, I'm not going to say your name because I'm not trying to get demonetized. So I ain't going to say your name, the man that just put up the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, you know what I mean? But let me ask you this. So if the Eagles win, what are you going to be saying then? Are you going to be what are you going to be saying? See, it's so funny with you sometimes Eagles fans. Now, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to pick against the Eagles. And, like it's been times like I pick against the Eagles. Like if I'm doing polls and not polls, but if I'm doing gambling and all that kind of stuff, yeah. Like I don't my brain comes before my heart. That's just what it is when it comes to my money. But here's what I can say: I'm not going to sit there and pick another team and say, oh, we suck and we this and we stink and my quarterback this and we this. I'm not going to do that. Because first of all, it's not true. Jalen Hurts does not stink. If there's one person that I'm not truly worried about but would like to see more from, it is Jalen Hurts. He doesn't stink or suck or whatever that you wrote. That's not the case. The case of the matter is I don't think he's being put in a position to prosper as much as he would like. But he's still top 5 in passing. Everybody want to praise Dak for all these yards, but when Jalen Hurts does it, it doesn't mean anything. Go ahead, Gates.
Thanks.
Look, I'm gonna go with my player game. If the Eagles are even gonna have a chance, it's gonna be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is gonna have to have a ridiculous game, and it's gonna have to be in his hands, man. I mean, he's gonna have to be more than just a passing threat. I think in this game, I think he's gonna have to really utilize his athleticism to create opportunities for other guys too. To be quite honest. So for me, Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts. This is the first time I picked him out. This year is the player of the game. So I'm going Jalen Hurts offensively. Defensively. That one's tough, man. I'm gonna say Rodney McLeod because our secondary, the Kansas City game was bad, man. Like that was just a tough matchup. But what I saw him bring to the table against Carolina and the way our corners responded, knowing that, even Epps played pretty well coming in as the third guy there. So I'm going to say that, McLeod he makes a difference, man, because McLeod's not like your prototypical box safety, but I think he's just a savvy enough veteran to be able to do the job. He's not ideal. There's certainly other dudes that are better, but he's a guy that just gets the job done, man. He gets the job done. And he may not be a dude that pops up on the stat sheets. Maybe he doesn't come away with a pick or a fumble recovery or anything like that. But when you go back and you watch the film, he's just one of those guys that you go, man, that dude had a really good game. Like, it's because of his play that a lot of dudes got opportunities. I'll say Rodney McLeod.
All right, score prediction?
Or as I used to call him, McLeod.
McLeod, yes. Make score prediction?
Score prediction. Man, I hate score predictions.
I know. That's
Oh,
funny.
y'all gonna come here 17 times.
Y'all
Y'all come here 17 times. I'm gonna give you 17 Eagle predictions to win. The score don't matter. I'm gonna pick the Eagles, but I'll go. My guy said 31-28, so I'm gonna say the Eagles win. It's gonna be close. I don't want to see us get into the 30s. I think you get into the 30s, it's inherently not your picker anymore. So I'm gonna say 27-26 Philly.
Ooh, that's close to what I kind of got. Shout out to, again, with the $5 super chat. He says, same thing I've been saying. Yeah, Jalen is not the truth. I love my team, but I speak the truth. Jalen can play the season out, but it's a waste of time. Here's my take on just can't talk. No matter if you love Jalen or hate Jalen, right? I think he's done good things this season. I think he's had mistakes where you're like, okay, you gotta build through it. I had Cowboy fans that support my channel, but they still give me all the smoke that said, they've seen Dak make some of the same mistakes. You're going to miss some guys. I think some misses have been exaggerated because he got the ball into other people's hands, but he does have to work on things. Am I swearing he's going to get better at things? I can't do that. But for people to say there's certain things that quarterback can't get better on, that's false. Looking like Lamar Jackson is not, I'm not saying he's a great passer, but every single year he's gotten better. From a guy who was supposed to be a wide receiver and all he can do is run, he's been putting together passing games. Teams are trying to take away the run, and he's looking better. Is he Peyton Manning? No. But things can be developed. And right now, we're not a quarterback away. Deshaun Watson had a great year with the Texans, but because the team was a bad around them, he had a top 5 quarterback year, but they won 4 games. I'm okay. We can have a top 5 quarterback year and win 5 games too. All I'm saying is give him a chance. And at the end of the year, I'm going to give you my exact opinion. Do I think we should move on or should we go? But I think it's too soon to even question a guy like Sirianni, who's pissing me off with the no run zone, the no run thing. But before I go, shout out to the friendly neighbor Blue Shell. That was a handful with the $5 super chat. Jalen just has to win games, and he will be praised just like Dak. That's kind of what Look,
well, last time
it's a team sport.
Go ahead.
Definitely a team sport.
Last time Dak had a full season, he won 4 games. What are you talking about?
And it's a team sport, and he's still breaking records. You know what I'm saying? These guys, he's doing.
No, he's saying it in a good way.
No, I get what he's saying, but you can't make that. You can't make that argument. When the last time Dak played a full season, he won 4 games. Was it 4 games? It was
8 games. 8 games.
8 games. Okay, 8 games. Yeah, they went 500. Yeah. My bad. Excuse me. You know what I mean? But
well, like I said, look, and this is more of an outlier. But listen, my boy, somebody commented here named Paul Christman. I didn't read it, but that's my boy on the outside, and he always just jokes with me and says, "Put Flacco in." And he said that again there. I laugh because I knew it was a joke. However, he was on there. He's a Bills fan. And he told me, bro, Josh Allen ain't the one. You know what I mean? He was ready to get rid of him after that first year. That's all I'm going to say right there. But one more time, Jose Serrano coming in with the $2 banger. Brady, 5 touchdowns was against who? We're not Miami's. Talk about it.
Right.
I hear you. But to be fair, Miami got good corners, man. They got studs out there at corner. But they play way more man than we do. That's a man defense.
Yeah. But they looked at bad last week too, though.
Yeah, but guess what?
Well, they're Jim Schwartz, 2020. They're man, so it's gonna look bad if you get beat in a man coverage system.
True. But this is what I do. For the first hour, I talk more analytical, saying, yeah, we might get torched. But when I'm about to get off here, it's Eagles going to get the dub no matter what. Because again, like I said, Would I put $100 on the Eagles if I'm betting?
Yes.
No. But do I think the Eagles can win? Of course. Gambling, fan, two different things. Offensive player is going to be Devontae Smith. I'm gonna take Devontae with 100+ yards. I wanted to say a runner. He said Miles Sanders. I didn't want to go to the Sanders versus Gainwell game, but I got Devontae Smith as I should have said Zach Ertz, to be honest, because he's gonna have a big role in the absence of Dallas Goedert. Should have said Zach Ertz. I think Fresh is gonna go there now. He stole it. He's gonna try to win again. I got Smith on offense. On defense, I need to see something from a guy that we all hate, Derek Barnett. I need to see it. Derek Barnett, get at him. Don't get no penalties.
Yeah, I can't do it again, Mike, because I already said.
I know you did it. I'm coming in for it now. Derek Barnett, a sack and a half. Sack and a half. He's coming. He's hungry. His belly's empty. Go ahead. Oh, score prediction. You said 27-26. I'm gonna go 28-25. Eagles.
Okay. Oh, you ain't finishing.
It's always go Birds. Go Birds. Go Birds.
Oh, I mean, hey man, you talked about the gambling and $100, and I just wanted to make sure. That's all.
I'm gonna like this and change it to
But I am not going to take Zach Ertz, even though I am thinking about starting him in my fantasy. I got I got him or I got Cook, man, from the Chargers. So I only got an hour to figure it out, not even an hour. And speaking of that, let me hurry up so I don't waste too much more of y'all time. I'm gonna go with Gainwell. I know you picked Miles Sanders 31, but I think Gainwell is the more trusted running back. I think they use him more. I think they use him in packages, different type of packages, and he will get more uses out of, and that's proven in every single game. So I'm going to go Gainwell as my breakout offensive player, man. And I'm going to have to go with defense. I got my guy McLeod coming through in the clutch, man. Getting me a pick to seal the deal because we will be up 29-27. Brady will be going down to try to kick a field goal. My man, Rodney McLeod will pick it off. It will get hit by no other than Hargrave tapped in the air, and Rodney McLeod will pick it off. Calling it down.
And when that happens, you can't celebrate.
29-27.
And you can't celebrate alone. You can't celebrate alone because Gate picked McLeod too. So you're gonna have to tag.
You picked McLeod?
Oh, you good? You good? You went way harder than I did. I said it won't look good on the stat sheet. It'll be on the film.
He said he's gonna be the Mr. Clean Up. You're talking about saving the game.
I mean, if he takes a pick to end the game, bro, I'm gonna say that you must have time traveled, my guy.
No, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Then I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna go with
No. That was too good of an ending situation. You gotta stick with that. That's good. You good. That was too good. He's gonna clean it up.
Man. Go ahead, y'all.
But yeah, man. Listen, shout out to we still got 521 people in the chat. Again, we are live on 3 channels. Definitely go out and check out everybody. The Philly Talk Podcast. Philly Fresh's channel. All you got to do is type it in the search bar. Gate City in a corner with the Eagles hat, the folded brim. Yeah, I mean the folded dad hat, the dad cap, and Bird Gang 31. New Eagle content creator, been doing it for a couple months. Over a K. Go check them out. Listen, Eagle Nation, it's late. I know a lot of us got to work tomorrow. Don't get too crazy, but let's get a dub. And if we do, every one of us will have something on our channel tomorrow, whether it's a live or a video. We gonna be talking about this win, lose, draw. No more draws though.
Yeah.
My score prediction 29-27. Facts only 29-27. We come through with a Rodney McLeod in the clutch. You know what I mean? Seal the deal.
Sealing the deal.
But y'all already know, man. Appreciate all of y'all. Bird Game, appreciate you coming on. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to speak for everybody on the panel. I don't think we're going to be doing no post-game kind of late. People got work in the morning. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I know my guy, he got a live to go get to. I got some things to do. So you already know, man. Stay Philly. Stay fresh, y'all. Yo, that.
Go ahead, Bird Gang. Sign off. Do your sign off.
Hey, man, like I always say at the end of my shows, man, fly, Eagles, fly. The Birds getting that W tonight. Peace out. Check you later. Peace.
Go ahead, Gate.
The Birds win tonight, guys. I'm probably ain't going to work. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Right?
I don't think I'm gonna be in condition for work Friday. But anyways, yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm excited. Like this is a game to where I think Nick, I think Jalen, I think the offense has a lot to prove. It's got a lot to prove, man. I mean, Carolina had a defense. You know, the offense was laughable, but that defense was pretty good. So I just want to see if they can put it together against a team that can put up points. Can we play decent defense, right? Can Nick call a consistent game? Like, what are we going to get here? Are we going to take and open up this offense? Let me say it this way. Let me say, are we going to open the offense fully for Jalen Hurts in this game? Are we going to see establish rhythm, then let Jalen play, let him do his thing? So, I mean, there's a lot to go here, guys. I'm excited to see what happens tonight.
Facts. And real quick, my end is going to be shout out to Jose Serrano with the $5 super chat. Cannot go tick for tat. Eagles offense has to run the clock, period, so the defense can be fresh to tee up. And I repeat, tee up. Tom Brady, if you thought that sack hurt in the Super Bowl, watch that thumb. Eagles 24-17. Fly, Eagles, fly. We are out. Peace.